Let's move over to the American League. Spent a lot of time in the National League today, and there is a race in the AL West that isn't maybe as good as the one in the NL West. The teams might not be quite where those National League West teams are, but it's a very tight race all the same. And it's the Mariners and the Astros. The Mariners were sitting in a great position not that long ago. I believe it was like June 18th where they were sitting. I had the stat pulled the other day, I think, for the power rankings, but they were like 13 games over or something like that. And now they're only a couple games over 500. The Astros have battled all the way back to take this division, and they're now just neck and neck. Who you got down the stretch here? Astros, Mariners.
I said it in the beginning of the season when the Astros were absolute dog crap, and I got to say it now. I'm taking the Houston Astros here just because they've been there before. And I don't mean there as in the World Series or there as in October, but there at the end of game 162, the regular season is over. The Astros are there, and the Mariners just don't have that same track record. You mentioned the fact that in June they had such a significant lead and were playing great baseball, and they still are playing pretty well, but they didn't have that team breathing down their neck, right? They had the Rangers with a ton of injuries. They had the Angels still trying to pretend like they were relevant. They had the Oakland, Las Vegas, Sacramento, Vancouver Athletics, Bally's Sportsbook, whatever they want to call themselves, they were out of the hunt. And so it was pretty easy and convenient for them to kind of not feel any pressure of being in first place because they were just cruising along. And now all of a sudden, Astros passed them by just a little bit. And that kind of changed some things. And it was nice to see Jerry DePoto being a little bit more aggressive, going out, getting a veteran bat that wasn't too expensive in a Justin Turner, making a much bigger splash for Randy Arozarena. That being said, the Mariners are only 4-4 since that day on July 30th. So haven't gotten that boost, haven't felt it just yet. Astros also 4-4 since the big Joey Loperfido trade. Is that what we're calling it? Or Yossi
I,
Kikuchi, I guess. But
yeah, I think this year it's the Kikuchi trade, but it'll turn into the Joey Loperfido trade. It's it's crazy that the Mariners were in such a big lead and yet they didn't do enough. During that part of the season early on, they had a chance to really create even more separation than they did, and they never quite put the Astros away, so to speak. And now Houston has battled back. We saw the Rangers last year falter down the stretch, trying to close out Houston, and they were able to win that division. Feels very similar with a different team this year, where the Mariners have the better team, I think. And you know what? Maybe it ends up working out for them. Maybe they can both make the playoffs. Although the wild card race seems like a harder path to make the playoffs than winning the AL West right now. Maybe if the Mariners made it, it would be like the Rangers, and they would be the hotter team come October. But winning the marathon, as you said, that is something that takes experience, and the Astros have it. So it again on paper, I think the Mariners have a better team, but I don't know if I'd bet against the Astros either.
yeah, both those teams neck and neck atop the AL West with the Astros. I don't know if you want to say technically a half a game. Like they have like 1 percentage point better
Yeah.
because of how the games, but basically the same record. And then if you don't win that division, both of those teams are essentially 4 games back of the wild card. So you're right. You have to go out and win this division. And once that pressure is there, I mean, again, who has wilted under the lights? We've seen Seattle do that. We've not seen the Astros do it to that same extent. They shine under pressure, right? No matter how much noise you're making, whether you're banging on drums, whether they're banging on drums, it doesn't necessarily matter. Or rather, garbage cans. They're going to be there. So my confidence is still in Houston with a new manager and Joe Espada. I just think that they've got the pieces that are there. They've got the experience to figure this thing out. They're still not even getting the best from Kyle Tucker as you were the first part of the season. It seems like Tucker's goes great. The team's not playing well. Team starts to play better. You're not really getting much from Kyle Tucker. So hopefully they can get on the same page. But when it comes to Mariners, Astros, I really still have to lean heavily, probably more than any of the other conversations we've had today. I like Astros over Mariners.
What's crazy about that is you look at the starting rotation. I can't stress this enough for the Mariners. They have the best rotation in baseball. I guess the Phillies this year have been up there too, but you look at the innings leaders in the American League. Of the top 7, the Mariners have 3. Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo, and George Kirby, all over 140 innings pitched. These guys take the ball every 5th day. They give you a chance to win. If the Mariners just average 4.5 runs a game down the stretch, they're probably going to win this division. So that lineup has to figure something out. Now, they're without J-Rod right now. They're without J.P. Crawford. If those guys come back, Randy Arozarena gets hot, I still do see a pathway for the Mariners to win this division. Obviously, it's right in front of them, both teams tied. I want to see the Mariners win this division. How about that? I can't say that I believe it because I just can't count on this lineup, but I want to see Seattle do their pitching right, put up the runs necessary, and end up winning this division because I think they're a team that I want to watch in October more. I want to see that rotation in a short series and see what they can do. But they got to step up. They got a couple months to do it here.
I don't know if there's a single category that the general population would want to see Houston make the postseason over Seattle, right? New blood, something fresh, a different splash of color, no more orange. That's positive, I think, for most baseball fans. The city of Seattle, getting that dome open at T-Mobile Park, like just beautiful, like the city of Seattle. Yeah, they deserve to have that. Houston, they've had enough. And again, just the history of those teams. It's fun when Seattle's there. It's evocative of Ken Griffey Jr., evocative of Ichiro Suzuki. Houston, you've been around enough. You're not providing anything new and exciting anymore. So I think a lot of people feel the same way, that it would be more exciting. And then, yes, the rotation, way better in Seattle. That was an absolute pleasure. That was one of the most fun assignments I had this offseason was, all right, preview the top 10 pitchers in the AL West. And it was, I hope people don't think I'm a Mariners fan, because like 3 of the top 4, top 5 are going to be Mariners. They have to be. It's just figuring out what the order is. I think everyone's got Luis Castillo as the ace, but I'm a huge George Kirby fan. He's fantastic. Meanwhile, Logan Gilbert was their all-star. So they've got 3 dudes right there where if they can get into the postseason, they can be very dangerous. They just have to get into the postseason first.
They got to get there, and they got to win that division, it seems like. When is the last time the Mariners won their division? Do you know?
2001.
There you go. I thought you would get that one right. 2001, when they won 116 games. Since then, have never won that division. So this is the year. It's right there for them. They just got to edge out the Astros down the stretch. They have the team to do it. I will stand by the fact that I think on paper they have the better team, because I really don't trust that Astros pitching. I've been pretty consistent on that. And it looks like I'll have egg on my face when it's all said and done. But we will see if the Mariners can hold off the Houston Astros.